Good morning, students. Welcome you all in virtual learning class. So today we are going to start with politics second chapter. As I said earlier in the previous session, I told you read out all the second lesson of politics. Hope you already read it. So according to that, we will start chapter second of politics, that is understanding secularism. Okay, that word is, I think, new for you, correct? So I'm going to tell you in detail the meaning of that particular word, understanding secularism. A word secularism in Hindi or Marathi we can say dharma nirapekshata. Okay, so in preamble also, preamble of the Indian Constitution has a word over there, secular, and article 25 to 28 implying that the state will not discriminate or patronize or meddle in the profession of any religion. However, it shields individual religious or groups by adding religious rights as fundamental rights, so that fundamental rights actually protect us from all the discrimination part, we can say. So article 25 says that all persons are equal, hmm, equally entitled to freedom of conscience and the right to freely process, practice, and propagate religion, subject to public order, morality, and health. Further, Article 26 says that all dominations can manage their own affairs in matters of religion. All these rights are subject to the regulated by the state. Okay, so in this chapter, what we are going to learn? So, how that word is important, secular. The whole chapter is actually important, and its meaning basically, and how it is included in the preamble, and that's why it is included in a preamble, that's why it is important to learn it. Okay, in the world history, uh, on the basis of belief and religion, if we have seen world history, so on the basis of belief or religion, people have exploited to each other. Okay, if you have learnt the part, lesson number 1, history, so there, or any part of the history, we can observe over there, due to the belief, different type of beliefs and religion, people have exploited to each other, they are dominating to each other. And why all that things are happening, no one come to know, and that's why we are going to learn this chapter. Okay, so uh, before starting the chapter, I will give you few example of regarding that chapter particularly. So suppose you are Hindu or Muslim living in a country where Christians are in a majority. Hmm? India is a country. India is a democratic country actually, and in India, lots of people are living over here. Lots of religions are there, languages are there, different rituals we are celebrating. So, you are supposed to imagine that you are Hindu or Muslim living in a country where Christians are in a majority and Hindu and Muslims are in a minority position. And you come across Christians' fundamentalism, means their domination from time to time. Okay, means only the Christianity ruled over there. Hmm? And even if you are that country's citizen and have all valid documents, still you have a hard time while renting at a home. Means you want to, if suppose you are in the other country, हम्म, आप किसी दूसरे कंट्री में हो और सपोज आपको वहाँ पे उस अदर कंट्री में आपको रेंट पे एक हाउस लेना है, छोटा सा घर लेना है. यू हैव ऑल लीगल डॉक्यूमेंट्स ओवर देयर, कंट्री सिटीजन्स, बट दैट कंट्री सिटीजन्स आर नॉट गोइंग टू अलाउ यू. वो आपको नहीं दे रहे हैं रेंट, रेंट पे वो होम. वाई? बिकॉज यू आर फ्रॉम माइनॉरिटी, हिंदू और द मुस्लिम्स. और वहाँ पे जो लोग रह रहे हैं वहाँ पे क्या है, क्रिश्चियंस. ओके, दैट फंडामेंटलिज्म is ruling over there. So these things are bound to make you unhappy. Definitely, what will happen? You will make unhappy. आप बिल्कुल भी खुश नहीं होंगे, right? Why? That all the discrimination is over there. So on one side you will feel that even Christians deserve to be treated in the same manner in areas where Hindus and Muslims are in a majority, and this is way, and that term we can say as a retaliation. Okay, here we go. It means what? That particular thing become you unhappy. आपको वो बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं है. Okay, so what you will think? आप क्या सोचोगे वहाँ पे कि yes, अगर क्रिश्चियंस हमारे साथ, इट इज़ एन ओनली एग्जाम्पल स्टूडेंट्स, कीप इट इन माइंड. ओके, तो अगर वो लोग आपसे ऐसा बिहेव कर रहे हैं, सो when Hindu and Muslim will be in the majority form, at that time we will also behave with them in that particular manner. That term is called retaliation. Means हम भी उनके साथ वैसे ही बिहेव करेंगे. टिट फॉर टैट वी कैन से. मीन्स फीलिंग ऑफ रिवेंज, है ना. हम बदला लेने की कोशिश करेंगे, वो बिहेवियर हमारा रहेगा, वो इंटेंसिटी हमारी रहेगी. दैट टर्म इज कॉल्ड रिटेलिएशन. हैव यू अंडरस्टूड अप टू हियर? सो दैट रिस्पॉन्स टू द डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, ये एक टर्म है. ओके, आई एम गोइंग टू रिपीट. इफ सपोज ड्यू टू majority you are facing few problems over here, so what you will think over there? A feeling of revenge. Yes, if suppose when I will be in the form of majority, so I will also behave with the minority people in that same way. Okay, so that term is called retaliation. However, as a responsible citizen, you will also feel that everyone is liable to get justice. Definitely, each and every person will think about that. सभी को justice क्या है? Same है. It should be same. No one should be discriminated on the basis of their religion, and that is the main thing. Nobody should be discriminated on the basis of their religion. All are equal. That fundamental rights taught us, fundamental right protect us from that all the situation. So this example demonstrate that there should be no discrimination against one's religious belief, though it will be in the form of majority or the minority. Majority and minority, have you understood the term? Majority means जिसकी मेजॉरिटी है, जहाँ जिस रिलीजन में वो रिलीजन के लोग ज़्यादा है. एंड माइनॉरिटी मीन्स दैट पर्टिकुलर रिलीजन कंटेन दैट लेस amount of people over there. So that will be the minority or the less people over there. Okay, so it is an essence of secularism. वो टर्म किससे रिलेट होता है? सेक्युलरिज्म से. Okay, so in this chapter, students, um, we are going to learn all that term which are related to the secularism, and the students would what is secularism in the term of Indian context. In Indian's context, that secularism term what plays an important role. Okay, so up to here what we learned: response to discrimination in a form of retaliation means feeling of revenge. If you will also think, yes, I will be resentful over here, that particular condition will resentful means very sad, become angry, and I'm going to take a retaliation over there, tit for tat situation. And you might take the view that there should be justice for all, and you may fight saying that no one should be discriminated against on the grounds of their religious practices and belief. Okay, so this statement rests on the assumptions that all forms of the dominations related to religion should end, and this is the essence of secularism, and that we are going to learn. Okay, let's see next slide. Okay, here, if you read history as we discussed already, then you will come to know several such instances when a large number of people from different regions of the world had a face persecution, exclusion, and discrimination on the basis of religion that they followed. Okay, now here three word we can say, or the three terms we can say. Okay, history provides us many examples of discrimination at every stage. हर एक स्टेज पे डिस्क्रिमिनेशन का डिफ्रेंसिएशन वहाँ पे हुआ है. In the term of exclusion at first we will see. Okay, exclusion means what? At that particular um, minority or the majority, you are excluded, you are you remain from that particular group, you are excluded, आप वहां से निकाल दिए जाते हो. Okay, so that is the term of exclusion, and on the basis of religious belief. Okay, and the second one is persecution, means exploitation we can say, atrocity we can say, on the grounds of religion. And you may have read about how Jews were persecuted in Hitler's Germany and how several millions were killed. Actually, what happened uh, in the at the time of World War II, Hitler was Germany's leader. Okay, and at that time, Hitler troubles a lot to Jews. Hmm? And because of that, lots of millions of Jews were killed by Hitler, Adolf Hitler. And now, however, Jewish state of Israel treats its own Muslim and Christian minorities quite badly. And in Saudi Arabia, non-Muslims are not allowed to build a temple, church, etc., and nor can they gather in a public place for prayers. Now, here, so that will be the example of persecution. It means, um, actually, if we will look out Jewish people, means Jews means who accepted actually Yahudi religion. Okay, and they were finding out their own state, Jewish state of Israel. Okay, they want to find out actually, and when they find out that state, why they find out? बिकॉज दे वर हैविंग फीलिंग ऑफ रिटेलिएशन. वो जूइश जो लोग थे उन्होंने अपना खुद का एक स्टेट फाइंड आउट किया. तो वाई दे वॉन्ट टू फाइंड आउट देयर ओन स्टेट, जहाँ पे वो रह रहे थे, वाई दे वर नॉट हैप्पी, because in German also they were facing lots of problem due to Adolf Hitler. और जो ट्रीटमेंट उनको मिली थी, लाइक दैट ट्रीटमेंट दे वांट टू गिव Muslims and Christians. Yes, and that was the feeling of retaliation. Okay, so in that the main thing is over there, um, that particular state actually is called theocratic state. Theocratic state means what? A state which follows only one religion, okay, as their whole country also is going to follow the one religion, that is called the state religion, that is the theocratic state. Okay, it means, if you can see, for the Jews, for the Israel, Jews were there, and for the Saudi Arabia, Islam were there. So in Saudi Arabia, non-Muslims are not allowed. Non-Muslims are not allowed to build a temple. They don't have any type of permission, temple or the church, and nor can they gather in the public place for prayers. Here, a public place means what? Yes, persecution, exclusion. उनको वहाँ से क्या किया गया था? Excluded किया गया था, उनको वहाँ पे साइड में ही रखा गया था. They cannot enter, they cannot interfere in that particular matter. Okay, so in all of the above examples, what it shows, some members of one religion community either persecute or discriminate against the member of other religious communities. These acts of discrimination take place more easily when one religion is given official recognition by the state at the expense of other religions. It means what? If suppose a particular religion have that right or the power to dominate any other religion, so it will be having a recognition. So what they can do? They can do the misuse. अगर पर्टिकुलर स्टेट पर्टिकुलर रिलीजन को ही सारे राइट्स अगर दे दे, सो व्हाट विल हैपन ओवर देयर? सो जो माइनॉरिटी के जो पीपल हैं, दे विल फील वेरी बैड, दे विल also having a feeling of retaliation. Okay, are you getting? So it is clear that people belonging to a majority religion in a particular country, जो मेजॉरिटी है लोगों की फ्रॉम पर्टिकुलर religion to that country try to harass those belonging to minority religion. Obviously हमने previous chapter में भी यही पढ़ा है कि how majority or the chap who is having that power, who can exploit or harass the belonging to the minority people or the religion. Okay, if a country has a particular state religion, जैसे हमने पहले पढ़ा कि theocratic state, which follow particular only one religion. So if a country has a particular state religion, then religious harassments are more common in such places. Obviously, it will not possible in that one country the majority people will living over there. Lots of people are living in one country, right? So with the help of all that rights, the majority people, what they will do over there? They will dominate to the minority people, they will harass, and no person likes to be discriminated against on the basis of religion that practices over there in that particular country. Okay, up to here I think you cleared all the terms. Now What is the main idea behind the word secularism? Let's see. Here we go. In the last chapter, it has been given that the Indian Constitution provides fundamental rights to its citizens that protect them from the state and against oppressive rules of those in majority. Lots of rules we have learned, rights we have learned through the fundamental rights. Okay, and what fundamental rights do over there? They are protecting us. So our constitution gives us the freedom to follow our own religion. यहाँ तक तो आपको पता है. We are living in a democratic country, and that's why our constitution gives us the freedom to follow our own religious belief and practices as we wish, while keeping the idea of religious freedom in their mind. Okay, the lawmakers adopted a strategy to separate the power of religion and power of state. And that term we can say a secularism. Means the term secularism refers to the separation between power of religion and the power of state. Listen carefully, students. Term secularism refers separation of between power of religion. ओके, सिर्फ दो वर्ड आपको याद रखना है. सेपरेशन बिटवीन पावर ऑफ रिलीजन एंड पावर ऑफ स्टेट. एंड दिस इज important for a country to function democratically. And why that is important, why that separation is important, that we are going to learn now. Secularism definition, have you got it? The term secularism refers to the separation between the power of religion and power of state. Okay, and that this is important for a country to function democratically. That country can run its all the decisions. Okay, next we are going to learn why that separation is must over there. So according to fundamental rights that protect us against the state power as well as against the tyranny of majority. Okay, here tyranny means what? Misuse of power to suppress someone. If suppose someone is having that particular power, he will be misusing that. So that is the meaning of tyranny. Misuse the power to suppress someone. And the Indian Constitution allows individuals the freedom to live by their religious belief and practices as they interpret these. And in keeping with this idea of religious freedom for all, India also adopted a strategy of separating the power of religion and the power of state. Okay, India also followed the same type of term, separation of power of religion and power of state. And secularism refers to the separation of religion from the state. Okay, and now we will go through why it is important to separate religion from the state. Definitely there will be some reasons behind that. ऐसे ही नहीं सेपरेशन वो करेंगे. Why it is important to separate religion and to separate state? Definitely one reason there is to functioning smoothly in the country. That will be the first reason. Let's see in detail why it is important to separate religion from the state. Okay, so as discussed above, the most important aspect of secularism is its separation of religion from the state power. And this is important for a country to function democratically. Yes, if we have seen India is a democratic country, and how it became? Yes, we elected our representative, and that representative are working for people's welfare only. They are going to take care of people. So they have to run all the situation smoothly, and almost all countries of the world will have more than one religious group living in them. And within these religious groups, there will most likely be one group that is the majority group. And if this majority religious group has access to the state power, then it could quite easily use this power and financial resource to discriminate against the persecute person of other religions. It means what? Whatever majority group will be there, so it can access to the state power. Okay, it means what? If this majority religious group has access to state power, it means within a country, if a particular religion is having in a majority फॉर्म, अगर पर्टिकुलर स्टेट में क्या है, पर्टिकुलर रिलीजन इन अ मेजॉरिटी फॉर्म है, एंड that's why they are having the access to the state power, they can access state power as well. So then it could be quite easily use this power and financial resources to discriminate against the persecute person of the religions. So what they will do, they will exploit minority people. Obviously, if they were having the rights, they were having all the rights over there, through accessing the state power, they can exploit, they can harass the minority religion. And that's why ये सब कुछ ना हो, that discrimination should not be there. That's why power of state and power of religion should be separate, and that is the main reason behind the separation of the power of state and separation of power of religion. Okay, have you understood up to here why it is important? They should not do the tyranny over there, means they are not supposed to do misuse of their power. That's why it is most important to separate both. Okay, hope till here you have understood. Okay, so and this tyranny of the majority could result in the discrimination. Okay, so this leads to the coercion. It means what? They can insist them forcefully, they can grab all the power from minority people. So that coercion, at the times even the killing of religious minority. So this majority could quite easily prevent minorities from the practicing their religion. Okay, so they can control to the minority people easily. Any form of domination based on religion is in violation of the rights that democratic society guarantees to each and every citizen irrespective of their religion. Yes, and therefore the tyranny of the majority and the violation of fundamental rights that can result is one reason why it is important to separate the state and religion in democratic society. And one more another reason there is that it is most important to separate religion from the state in democratic society. Why? Because we also need to protect the freedom of individuals to exist from their religion, embrace another religion, or have freedom to interpret. No? We have also freedom. We are also having right to freedom, and nobody can grab it. Nobody can fetch it, and that's why that is also most important reason. Freedom to interpret and religious teaching differently. And to understand this point better, so we can take an example of practice of untouchability. Untouchability means those who are from the minority, they are not supposed to go at the public places. They cannot touch, they cannot visit any holy place. And you might feel that you dislike this practice within Hinduism, and therefore we have to think about it. So state power were hands of those Hindus who supports untouchability. Then do you think that you would have an easy task to try and change this? Yes, definitely it will be little bit difficult task nowadays in the modern nowadays we are living in modern society. That's why that factor cannot be seen. But yes, definitely in few regions we can find it, all the practices over there. So these members who have controlled the state power might say that there is only one interpretation of Hinduism or any religion, and that you do not have the freedom to interpret it differently. Okay, now next one. So what is Indian secularism? Now we are going to learn what is Indian secularism. Okay, so the Indian constitution is having mandates that the Indian state be secular. According to the constitution, only a secular state can uh, realize its objective to ensure the following. Okay, so they release few objectives over there. First one is that one religious community does not dominate another. That is the most important. All are equal. Second, that some members do not dominate other members of the same religious community. That will be also one important one. It means एक particular religion से अगर दो ग्रुप है उसी में, that one group do not dominate to other group or the other member of that particular same religion or the community, religious community. क्योंकि हमने क्या देखा है, all are equal. And third one is that the state does not enforce any particular religion nor take away the religious freedom of individuals. Okay, means state cannot enforce any particular religion nor take away the religious freedom of individuals. Means means every citizen can choose his or her religion freely. That is also most important one, and that's why the Indian state works in a various ways to prevent the above domination process. Okay, means we can say the tyranny. Nobody should dominate. And first, it uses a strategy of distancing itself from a religion. And the Indian state is not ruled by a religious group, and nor does it support any one religion. That is the most important thing, students. Our Indian constitution or the Indian state is not ruled by the religious group, any religious group. It is a democratic country, and supports also not a single not particular religion. So in India, government spaces like law courts, police stations, government schools and offices are not supposed to display or promote any one religion. Okay, so few examples regarding that we are going to learn. Means how at the public place, means law courts, police station, government school and or the offices, they are not supposed to display or promote or to dominate any particular one religion. Here we go. Here in the first picture we can see in the government school in Simapur, students want to celebrate a religious festival. Okay, a heading you can read out over there, government high school. Okay, one girl is asking to sir, there is a big religious festival next month. We have never celebrated it in school. Can we do it this year? So she want to celebrate. But actually the thing is, sir says that, oh, I'm afraid that isn't possible, Rekha. This is the government school. We cannot give importance to any one religion. All are equal. Private schools may do that, and government schools don't celebrate any religious festival in the school premises. If you want, in a locally or in your locality, you can celebrate. Okay. So mostly what happen? Most religious festivals are public holidays, so that we can celebrate these at home. Okay, so there a teacher solved her problem. Okay, and that friends were discussing that, yes, we are going to, I am going to celebrate, I'm planning to celebrate that particular festival in my locality. So, in this above story, the celebration of religious festival within the school would have been a violation of the government's policy of treating all religion equally. These things we can find out. And government schools cannot promote any one religions, or government school, not we can say school, or any government stream or the faculty we can say, like police station हो, कोर्ट हो, वी नेवर सीन, हम कभी भी नहीं देखते हैं कि वहाँ पे किसी एक रिलीजन को लेकर वहाँ पे सेलिब्रेशन होता हो और एनी फेस्टिवल सेलिब्रेशन वहाँ पे होता हो. सो दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू प्रमोट एनी वन रिलीजन और प्रेयर वी कैन से, ना कि कोई पर्टिकुलर रिलीजन की ही प्रेयर वहाँ पे होती हो. सो दीज रूल्स डज नॉट अप्लाई टू द rest of the schools, or we can say the private one. Okay, in the next picture we will discuss again. Okay, this is the example of secularism. Second example. Okay, so a group of friend over there, how means Indian secularism works to prevent the above domination is though through strategy of non-interference. Non-interference means a particular recognition cannot interfere. ओके, मीन्स अगर कंट्री होगी तो वो कंट्री उसमें, अगर स्टेट होगा वो पावर होगा, वो इंटरफेयर नहीं कर सकता उनके पर्टिकुलर रिलीजियस मैटर में. सो this means that in order to respect the sentiments of the all religions and not interfere with religious practices. Okay, so this picture reveals all that things. Actually the thing is over there, Paramjit, okay, a Sikh youth does not have to wear a helmet. And why? This is because the Indian state recognizes that wearing a pagri, जो पगड़ी होती है उनकी, so is a central to a Sikh religious practice. Okay, and in order not to interfere with this, allow an exception in the law. तो उनको लॉ ने क्या किया है? दे हैव अ एक्सेप्शन. But now if practically we can think about that, it is the to wear the helmet, it is the most important thing for the safety of ourselves only. But here through the lesson that we are going to see, government cannot interfere in their and means government gave allow that exception because of pagri. Okay, and in the third way in which Indian secularism works to prevent the domination listed earlier is through a strategy of interventions. Okay, so in the next few slides we are going to learn all that particular things. It means what, students? We learned that to protect, okay, means yes, to protect only we can say, or to prevent religious domination, the Indian government has adopted a strategy of non-interference to make sure that there is no interference in religious practices and to related to their sentiments of all religions are respected, right? All religions are respected. The government makes certain exceptions for particular community, and sometimes the government of India also uses the strategy of interventions to sort out religious issues. In Hinduism we come across cases of untouchability that we have learnt already. Often we see that people of the upper caste dominate those belonging to the lower caste in different ways. To prevent such cases, our constitution has banned untouchability. बिकॉज ऑफ दैट सो मैनी इश्यूज वर देयर. उसके वजह से क्या हो रहा था, जो एक्चुअली हमारा जो फंडामेंटल राइट है वो एक्सप्लॉइट हो रहा था, वो प्रॉपरली इट वॉज नॉट वर्क. मीन्स जो अपर कास्ट के लोग थे, दे वर डोमिनेटिंग टू द लोअर कास्ट पीपल, एंड दैट्स वाई द अनटचेबिलिटी banned over there by the constitution. And the state intervenes in religious cases from time to time, and if it finds that any social practice excluded or discriminated, it means any social practice, any religion, अगर कोई भी रिलीजन एक्सक्लूड होता है, छूट जाता है, उसको एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया जाता है या डिस्क्रिमिनेट होता है अगेंस्ट दोज बिलोंगिंग टू द सोसाइटी लोअर स्ट्रक्चर, द स्ट्रिक्ट एक्शन विल बी टेकन. The law immediately takes action if it finds out the fundamental rights of citizens are being violated on the basis of religion. Okay, so what we have seen, if we compare both example, first and second, okay, that all the things we are going to learn. So the celebration of religious festival within the school would have been a violation of the government's policy of treating all religious equally. So government schools cannot promote any one religion. And the second example, Paramjit Sikh youth, and due to pagri he is not supposed to, means government cannot insist them, they allow an exception in the law. Okay, so in this way the first part we can say here we have completed. Okay, so what we learned, the term secularism, the term retaliation, resentful, then exclusion, persecution. What is the secularism? Okay, then why it is important to separate religion from state, and what is the Indian secularism. So all that things we have learnt today. Hope you understood. In the next video I will come up with the next second part that will be related to the next topic, means why it is important and how it can be a discriminated over there, how Indian secularism is different from other countries. ओके, जैसे इंडिया में है वैसे ही अदर कंट्रीज में है, क्या क्या डिफरेंस है दोनों में, दैट वी आर गोइंग टू learn. Till then you are supposed to read chapter, this chapter, okay, underline hard words, okay, and try to write down in your own words, which summary means we can say summary you are supposed to write in your own words what you have learned. Okay, till then, bye. Thank you so much.